Mama. Welcome back to the Inner Golden Hour podcast with me, your host Kusum, and this is episode number 78, Why Your Brain Never Shuts Up and the Real Reason Working Moms Overthink Every Damn Thing. So, in this episode, let's find out why you have this overthinking syndrome. And this conversation is actually inspired by a recent interaction that I was having with another working mom. And I have to say that at least she was honest enough to admit this because most of you don't even realize that this is exactly what's happening behind closed doors. Or should I rather say, in this case, behind your composed face, but inside your own mind. So I have to give it to her that she had the courage to say it out loud that her brain just won't ever shut up. And if only she could make it stop, even for 30 minutes, she would be so grateful. And it isn't even just her. This is the number one pattern I see across the board. Easily 90% of the time with most women, whether you are a working mom or not, this is something that you struggle with day in and day out. But what actually blows my mind is that no one treats this like the giant problem it actually is. Because we normalize it, we joke about it, and we call it just being busy or worse yet, just being wired that way. So, unlike popular opinion, a brain that never shuts off isn't your personality trait. It's not your ambition, and hell no, it's not your strength. But it's actually a nervous system that's been begging you for years because your nervous system hasn't felt safe enough to power down. And when that becomes your baseline, everything starts to feel heavier than it needs to be. So before we even begin, let me just say the thing that you've probably been too tired to admit out loud. Nope, your brain is not busy as you would think it is, but your brain is backed up like a target return line in January, right after the holiday season ends. But at least the target return line has a solid reason, unlike you. And honestly, half of what's running inside that head of yours isn't even thoughts. Yes, it's not even thoughts, it's emotional residue. Unprocessed conversations, unfinished tasks, unmet needs, the mental tabs you've been carrying from your kids, your partner, your boss, the school, the holidays, your goals, your guilt, your anxiety, your hopes, your shoulds, and don't forget the damn too long to do list that somehow lives rent free in your frontal lobe. So if your brain has felt like a crowded group chat that you can neither exit nor mute, welcome, sister, you're home. So today is the episode where we actually break down why your brain won't shut up, why you keep spiraling, and why the same five worries replay like a broken record over and over and over and over and over again. But more importantly, we are going to take a closer look at what's actually going on beneath all of that mental noise. And don't worry, I'm not just going to give you the fluffy, just meditate BS because I know how it feels when your mind won't shut up and someone is asking you to just sit still and meditate for 5 minutes. And I'm also not going to just tell you, think positive thoughts nonsense either that we've been fed for years. But instead, I am going to talk to you about the real psychological, emotional, identity level truths behind your overthinking, especially for working moms. Because guess what? Our overthinking isn't just regular overthinking, it's Olympic level, detailed oriented, worst case scenario, multi tab, subconscious problem solving that could get us all several PhDs, but instead, it just keeps us exhausted. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the Inner Golden Hour podcast,
where dreams take flight, mind, body, and soul get a serious holistic upgrade, and personal evolution transforms into a shared spiritual adventure. Consider this your dedicated sanctuary for exploration, self discovery, unfiltered truths, diverse perspectives, and some much needed heart to heart real talk. Hi, I'm your host Kusum. I'm a mindset and manifestation life and business coach. Think of me as that best friend you never knew you needed. The one unafraid to call out your BS, deliver a dose of tough love, and hit you with some truth bombs. This podcast is more than just a series of episodes. It's a transformative experience guiding you to dig into your truths, ditch those old limiting beliefs, and fully embrace the real authentic you. It's an invitation to align your mind, body, heart, and soul, to dream big, to explore what truly lights you up, and to manifest a reality that surpasses your wildest imagination. Envision this space as the magical golden hour when everything radiates with a breathtaking glow, revealing the depths of your inner world. Now, come along and immerse yourself in a perpetual flow of inspiration, insights, and massive transformation across all areas of your life. Let's explore the extraordinary, one enlightening episode at a time.
This is one of the biggest lies that we've ever been sold about overthinking. Now, most women think their overthinking is a personality flaw. And some actually even take pride in the fact that their mind won't ever shut up because they think that that's multitasking and that's actually getting them closer to their goals. For example, you might say things like, I've always been this way. It's just who I am. I'm just wired this way. No, sister. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You were conditioned this way. You were trained this way. You were socialized into it. And then motherhood came along and said, great, let's turn up the volume by 100. So, no, working moms don't just overthink. We pre think, we post think, we double think, and then we think about all of the things we pre thought, post thought, and double thought. And you mentally rehearse every imaginary scenario. You carry everyone's feelings like unpaid emotional laborers. You mentally plan, predict, preempt, prevent, prepare, protect. And you literally become the human firewall of everyone and everything around you. So, of course, your brain is loud. It's actually trying to keep everything and everyone safe. But the harsh reality that most women are missing right now is this, that overthinking is not even a thinking problem. It's a safety problem. Let me repeat that one more time for those at the back. Overthinking is not a thinking problem, it's a safety problem. Your brain spins because your nervous system doesn't believe you're safe enough to turn off. And that's exactly why you can lie in bed exhausted but wired. That's exactly why your mind races the second you get quiet. That's exactly why your shower becomes a TED talk in and of itself. And that's exactly why your commute becomes an actual mental courtroom. And that's also why nighttime feels like a mental Olympics. And flash news, your nervous system and your subconscious are actually what's running the show in the background, while your thoughts are merely just the surface level symptoms. And honestly, I keep thinking, why is this not something that we are taught in school and college? Because this is what you need in order for you to regulate yourself. Anyhow, that's another topic for another day. Now, let's actually first look at the physiology before we even start dissecting the rest of it. Because when you've been on all day, making decisions, anticipating needs, preventing meltdowns, holding emotional space, managing schedules, turning work brain on, turning mom brain on, switching gears 57 times in a span of 2 minutes, your body never gets the internal signal that, hey, we can stop now because your brain is waiting for a moment of safety. but your day never sends it that signal because modern motherhood is basically wake up, full sprint, collapse, and then repeat. There is no off ramp, there is no power down, there is no transition time, there is no decompression phase. So your brain keeps running even when you're physically still, and whether you're sitting on the couch or lying in bed, your brain still keeps running because your nervous system thinks it needs to stay alert because it thinks that it's not safe and it's in danger. So, overthinking is your brain trying to protect you in a life where you never feel done. So, I'm going to repeat myself one more time. Overthinking is a survival response to a life where women never get to finish any damn thing. And this is what is both wild and fascinating to me because your brain doesn't care if you're solving real problems or imaginary ones. It just wants to stay ahead of all possible danger, emotional or physical, imaginary or real. So if you've ever spiraled about a message that you didn't send, an appointment you might have forgotten, something your kid said, something your partner didn't say, something your boss said that had a tone, a future problem that hasn't happened, a past problem that already happened, everything that could happen in between, while you might think that it is overthinking, let me tell you, it's not. That's hypervigilance. That's emotional labor. That's decision fatigue. That's identity pressure. That's living in survival mode 24/7. And when I talk to people and tell them that, oh my goodness, you're operating in survival mode all day, every day, on autopilot all day, every day, I get the backlash because I am the crazy one here, right? Anyhow, no, it's not overthinking. And also, it's not your fault, and neither is it a flaw. It is just a response, an actual response from your nervous system. And I'm going to continue to call you out on your BS right now because you are doing one or all of these, even if you pretend you are absolutely fine. Okay? So pay even more close attention here. Number one, task overthinking. This is where you keep thinking about things like, did I pack the snack? Did I sign the form? Did I reply? Did I forget something? And you continue within that loop. And your brain at this point is basically your executive assistant because you don't actually have one. Number two is emotional overthinking. And that looks like, why did they say that? What did she mean? Did I mess that up? Was that my fault? Because working moms carry everyone's emotional state like baggage claim, and they take pride in it. Number three, predictive overthinking. And this is where you go, let me plan for all 47 possible outcomes so no one melts down. Because your brain has become a master at doing advanced calculus, which I hated, by the way, just so it can prevent chaos. Number four, identity overthinking. This is where you go, am I doing enough? Am I messing this up? Am I failing? Am I a good mom? Am I a good partner? Am I a good employee? So on and so forth. And this is where the real self sabotage actually lives and not just survives, but thrives. And beat this, all four of these types of overthinking come from one single root. And it's as simple as you don't feel safe unless you are the one managing everything. That's it. That is the root. You don't feel safe. That's it. It's not motivation, not mindset, not personality, not being in your head too much. It's safety. Can you acknowledge and accept that? That's exactly what's happening for you right now. Yeah, logically, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like you have the most amazing life, everything is great. So why would you not feel safe? But you see all the ways in which you actually don't feel safe that your body is trying to communicate to you. And this is also the discussion that I was having with this friend, this working mom that I was talking about. And she was in it, she was going through it, and she just laid it all out there. And she started talking about something that had happened a few weeks ago. And let me actually share a story that this mom was actually describing to me about. And this is very real life for many of you, right? Many of you will see yourself in this story of hers because this is a classic example of, oh, I am doing just fine. On the other hand, you're actually hanging by a thread. Kids everywhere, unfinished deadlines, clutter in the house that's judging you, messages that are unanswered, and your brain absolutely sprinting. And then she went on telling me that that day, right behind all of these things that were happening for her, she went on to tell me that her son, her 10-year-old, actually broke something. Just a tiny thing, no big deal, but her brain completely went off. Like imagine when you open a can of soda bottle that's been shaken nonstop, and that's exactly how she described it. She's like, my brain just went off. And in that moment, she actually realized something, that she is just lying to herself that everything is fine while she is not. And she's like, why do I keep lying to myself? And that's where this whole discussion started. And I then started to describe to her that you're not actually overwhelmed because your life is hard, because you have a great career, you have a wonderful family. From the outside, it doesn't look like you have a hard life. So you're not overwhelmed because your life is actually hard, which actually makes it even more worse for people to acknowledge or say that I am not fine. Instead, you are overwhelmed because your nervous system has never gotten a break. Because it wasn't about what your son broke. It wasn't about your entire day. It wasn't about the tasks that were not completed, but it was simply about the fact that you had been holding it all together for hours or perhaps days and weeks without a single reset. Perhaps you never had a break, not a breath, not one moment where your body actually got the message that you are okay. Even though you're consciously saying, I'm fine, I'm okay, but your body knows the truth. Your nervous system knows the truth. You cannot lie to your subconscious. And then this is the perspective that I offered her. You know, don't just try to push things away and say that everything is fine. Don't go about thinking positive. Don't even get on with the, oh, I'm just going to try and, start meditating, because it's not going to work. If this is the state that you are in and then you go sit in meditation, it can work. There's nuances, but when you are in fight or flight mode, just meditate isn't going to work. Just lean in isn't going to work. Instead, it is pause, even if it's just for 2 to 3 minutes, so you can regulate and then give your body the safety that it needs so it can turn off your mind. And this is what many people don't understand. It's that our brains stop spinning when our body feels safe. And it's not the other way around. Your brain will stop running 100 miles per hour. It will stop spinning when you actually feel that safety in your body. And people often think it's the other way around. No, it's not. And that's exactly why I'm not going to give you another 17-step routine because nobody with kids has time for that. Even though I personally make time for some pretty intense routines myself because that's just how I like it and I make sure I make it happen. But I never expect anyone else to operate like me. And that's also why I teach what actually works in real life, real motherhood, and real daily chaos. Not any kind of fantasy schedules or wake up at 3 a.m. like me and journal for 2 hours energy either. I help you get started with what's doable, what's grounding, and what can start to move the needle without adding more things onto your already full plate. And this is the most real and the most simple way you working moms can reset an overthinking, overworking brain. Number one, actually acknowledging what's going on. Tell your nervous system you're not in danger. Put your hand on your chest, exhale longer than your inhale, not in a spiritual way, not in a cute way, but just physiologically. Just putting your hand on your chest and staying with your breath. Sends your nervous system the signal that you're actually safe and not in danger. Because guess what? Many people don't know how to breathe the right way. You're always sprinting from one thing to another, and your breath is as short as possible. So, just a simple exercise tells your nervous system to get out of that fight or flight mode. Step two, stop multitasking for 60 seconds. That's all. Not 60 minutes. Just start with 60 seconds because I used to take pride in the fact that I am a multitasking queen. But guess what? There's a time and place for everything. So, literally, stop moving because stillness equals safety to your brain. But on the other hand, what are you doing? Like I just mentioned, you're rushing from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another, putting your brain through extreme pressure, making it feel like something is falling apart somewhere. I mean, you should see when I'm going over to pick up my son in the afternoons, how parents are literally rushing, like some emergency, something is happening. Like they're running to the school gate as if they reach there 2 minutes late, something is going to happen. They don't even realize this, but that's exactly they're like, I look at the body language of people, for better or worse, it's a blessing and it's a curse that I can't help but notice every time that I see people rush through things. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing to your nervous system? You're putting it through hell and back. Stop doing that. But I don't say that to anybody because they didn't ask for it. So I shut up. But I can't help but notice this. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing to yourself? And more importantly, what are you doing to your own kids who have been watching this way of living and your body language? And that's exactly what's going to happen to them if it hasn't already happened to them. But nothing's going to change unless you start making these simple shifts. All right. Step number 3, bring your senses back online. We are so engrossed in the things that we are doing that our senses are literally not even with us. So when I say bring your senses back online, pay attention to what do you hear right now? What do you feel? What do you see? What do you smell? And just paying attention to these few things, it's going to anchor you out of the mental future and bring you right back into the physical present, thereby giving your mind a break. Step number 4, drop one thing from your mental list. I'm not joking. Say out loud. Say out loud, I am not doing that today. Because guess what? Your brain needs closure to shut those 127 open tabs. So, unless you actually give it that, it is going to keep all of those tabs open. So, start practicing that starting today. Number 5, give your body an actual cue that the task is done, whether it is closing your laptop, turning off a light, washing your hands, because all of these signals are sending that message to your body that we are complete, we are done. So don't go about it in an autopilot, mechanical way. You actually need to literally pause and acknowledge, because that's how your brain finally realizes, oh, we are safe, we are done. That's exactly why I say it's not always a mantra, an affirmation, a mindset, or manifestation technique that works. It's actually safety, literally the safety. Well, don't get me wrong, I'm all for the mantras, the affirmations, the mindset, the manifestation, but you need to know how each of these work. Otherwise, again, they're just items on your to do list that you aspire to do. See? Just these 5 simple steps. That's all. That is how you start resetting your overthinking brain. Let's keep going because there's more that I want to share that's going to sting you even more than you've already been stung in this episode, because your brain is as loud as it is because you have spent years or maybe decades ignoring the needs of your body. No, don't come at me, because it's got nothing to do with whether you're eating healthy or not and whether you're working out or not. Yes, they are all great. But what I'm talking about is you've been powering through, you've been pushing past limits, you've been saying I'm fine when you're not, you've been the strong one, you're holding space for everyone, you're operating at capacity you never replenished, and you've survived by running on overdrive. And you think you're thriving. But guess what, sister? No, you're not. And the worst part is this survival mode, even though you might not acknowledge or accept that that's what's happening to you for the millionth time, the survival mode was never meant to become your eternal personality. But right now, that's what's happened. And that's exactly why your brain never shuts off. And the survival mode was just meant to be a season. Remember? Yeah, it's your words, not mine. And the season has been long gone, and many more seasons have come after that. But guess what? You've been long overdue to leave all of that behind, but you've not. Guess why? Because of all of the things that I just listed. And this is exactly why I talk about regulating your nervous system as much as I do, because that is going to change everything. For example, you will start to notice that your overthinking drops naturally, your patience returns, your creativity returns, your clarity. You're going to get more clear in your life, your emotional bandwidth widens, identity stabilizes, you're going to stop taking everything personally, you're going to stop spiraling, and more importantly, you're going to stop predicting those imaginary disasters, and you're going to stop living in your head, because that's ultimately what you want right now. And you're going to stop jumping to worst case scenarios at the drop of a hat, but instead you're going to come back into your actual self and live the life you already have right now. So when all of that noise stops inside your head, you know who gets to exist inside your current life? You. And you know how? By being clear, present, calm, capable, confident, centered, human, and not as the martyr, the machine, the fixer, the firefighter, the walking checklist, but as you. So, this is my invitation to you this week. When your brain gets loud, when your thoughts spiral, when your mind won't stop and shut up, don't fall into the trap of asking, "What's wrong with me?" Instead, pause and ask yourself, what does my nervous system need right now? Because this has the ability, when done right and with the right support, this has the ability to change your whole entire life. Not with mindset hacks, not with planners, not with color coded systems, not with pretending you're okay, but with your truth. Because, like I said, your brain is not the enemy here, it's the alarm system, and your body is your home. And you're finally going to learn how to live inside it again. So, if this episode has felt like a slap in the face for you, great, because it was meant to. That was the whole point. Because years ago, that's exactly how I felt when I finally learned this harsh reality, this harsh truth. Because I used to take a lot of pride in, my mind never shutting off. And oh my God, what did I do to myself? And that honestly was the worst thing that I did to myself in hindsight. But better late than never. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, I wanted to keep this episode super simple for you, something that you can lean on when your brain won't shut off, when you're spiraling at night, when you're second guessing yourself for the 100th time on that one single decision, and when you just need someone to name what's happening inside your head. So I wanted to keep this episode super simple and give you something super tangible so you can go implement that right this day, right this moment. So if as you listen to this episode, you felt that moment of recognition and you went, "Oh wow, Kusum, you're talking to me. That's so me," then that's a sign. So please don't stop here because this is just the beginning. There are so many patterns like this that you have made a default, a pattern in your life that you could break out of. So if you're ready to actually break the pattern of constant overthinking, overwhelm, guilt, and silent pressure, then I invite you to join my upcoming free training. Discover 3 science backed secrets to thrive as you, as a mom, and in your career without constant overthinking, overwhelm, guilt, or sacrifice. And inside the masterclass, I will be teaching you the system that actually shifts this at the root, at the identity layer, the nervous system layer, and share with you the real mechanics of how you can stop living in your head and start operating from grounded clarity. Link is in the show notes, so go register right now and go get some rest tonight. When I say rest, I mean your brain when it can finally be at peace and have a good night's sleep, because your brain doesn't need another lecture, it needs safety. And if this episode made something click for you, then please share it with another mom whose mind could use a little peace of mind right now. All right, I will see you back here on the next episode. Until then, bye, Mama.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of this podcast. I appreciate your time, your presence, your commitment, and your willingness to embark on this journey of self discovery, transformation, and manifestation. If anything you heard today resonated with you, sparked new insights, or brought about aha moments, I'd love to hear all about them. So please share your thoughts by tagging me on social media at Passion Purpose Passport and follow me there for more inspiring content and connection. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and show your support by liking, reviewing, and sharing this podcast. The more good we share with the world, the more the universe unfolds its magic for us. It's not just good karma, it's the universal law, aka Manifestation 101. By the way, You will receive my free manifestation meditation as a token of gratitude for sharing your reviews on iTunes. Take a screenshot before submitting and send it to my team at manifest@passionpurposepassport.com. On that note, align your mind, body, heart, and soul with your deepest desires for limitless possibilities. Remember, every step you take, every action you choose ripples through the universe, shaping the reality you wish to experience. Until next time, keep basking in the brilliance of your inner golden hour and keep manifesting miracles.